Oh, look at that. That was a perfect catch there, brother. Nice catch. Did you catch it on the handle?
I did.
That's sick. You do a little...
Happy Tuesday, Tennis Point fans, Pure Tennis Podcast fans. Appreciate you guys tuning in. My name is Nate Walworth, joined here by the Joe Patton. Happy Tuesday, Joe. Tennis Point Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Good times.
We got to catch up on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we do.
We haven't recapped Madrid yet. We got May Madness. We got Rome has started. Back-to-back Masters 1000s on the clay. But I want to kick it off first off with the latest from Tennis Point. Guys, check out tennis-point.com for all your latest and greatest equipment and apparel. Nike has just launched their summer collection for women and males. You got the women have the Nike Court Dry Fit and the Nike Court Victory top. Beautiful kits that you guys can add to your collection. The men, you have the Rafa shirt that you saw him rocking in Madrid with the blue. I thought that was a pretty clean look for Rafa.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on
I thought that one
on
looked.
the kit?
I'm much more into that one. I thought it looked kind of old school. Rafa had the kind of better kind of cut to it.
No, I agree. And then with the shoes, guys, a lot of you guys have been asking what's the latest on the shoes. We have the latest would be the Fusion Rev 4s from Yonex. Those are a shoe that I've been playing with those like for the last few months. Those pink ones. I think they're just a very solid shoe. The foot doctor Zach Thomas, check out him on YouTube. He has told me a couple times that this is probably maybe the best rubber on the circuit right now. 2 new colorways that are beautiful, a like lime green, navy blue, and then like a blue and red and white colorway. Actually, there's a black colorway as well. So also check out the Head Revolts. Those are new to our shop. And then Lotto Raptor and the Adidas Soul Courts as well that you saw Tsitsipas wearing. And then the Mizuno Wave XC Tour 5s, guys. So there's so much to check out on the website. Be sure to do all your shopping at Tennis Point and tell them the Pure Tennis Podcast sent you guys.
Yeah, do that. Definitely do that.
Definitely do that, yeah. Well, let's start off with college tennis. I know you and I have been tuned in the last few months with all the action, but NCAA tournament, I got to go up to Columbus and watch the ladies play. I watched Xavier versus Vanderbilt. Heck of a it was heck of a match. It's great environment. The fan engagement at these matches is just amazing. It's just there's constant cheering, girls yelling across the courts. Ohio State has the Ty Tucker Tennis Complex is one of the prettiest facilities in tennis that you'll kind of come across. I mean, they did everything the right way there. Giant scoreboard when you walk in. It's got all the scores on all matches, and every court has 2 cameras on each side, one camera on each side for play site. You got chair umpire and every. It was just really official looking. It felt like college tennis is kind of climbing.
I saw the scoreboards up too. I think that's good too because you walk in, there's so many things going on. You can see the points. You can see where everybody's kind of stands. It makes it easy to kind of just go in there and just be ready to watch.
It makes it easier to follow. You know, you're trying to keep track of 6 courts across the board. And no, it was just super cool. Actually, I was talking to JJ Wolf out there. He was watching Xavier Musketeers. He was just saying like he missed it by a half semester. I'm like, dang, what? But he's like, he kind of his wins might have helped build the place. So no, I thought that was awesome. Vanderbilt took that one, and then they ended up going and upsetting Ohio State at their home courts to advance to the Sweet 16. So shout out to the Commodores, put on a heck of a display there. But just seeing that up close, seeing Xavier's athletic director there, he's a football guy, and I kind of got to talk to him for 20, 30 minutes about this experience, and he was just saying how unique college tennis is. And I was like, have you ever watched professional tennis much? And he has not. And I said, you got to just watch both, and I want to hear what he has to say about just the energy in the building. I think it just does so much for the sport. But let's get into the action a little bit deeper across the board. We'll start off with the men. We have, first off, did you get to watch any of those first couple rounds?
I've been following.
Yeah,
I didn't get to watch it at all.
You got to hop on your Play Strike
I know,
stream
Tennis
or
One.
Tennis One. Yeah.
Tennis One.
Shout out to Tennis One. They're doing a great job of streaming all this stuff. But so out of the top, I have TCU going to I had them going to my Final Four. I think I told that on the Mini Break podcast. I have TCU advancing. They're the indoor champions, but they are likely going to have to face either Wake. First off, they have North Carolina State, which is tough, but they're going to have to face Wake Forest, who was damn good, or Kentucky. Kentucky is the SEC runner-ups losing to Florida. Who do you like coming out of the top left?
I have TCU. I had TCU
had,
and Kentucky both.
Yeah.
I was great on this side. I had Ohio State.
Your bracket's still
Texas.
intact.
I had Ohio State, Texas on the lower side too. The other way, I had Florida, and then I'm completely wrong on every piece of the rest of it though.
We got in the bottom left. So we both have TCU.
Yeah.
In the bottom left, we have Michigan against Texas. That should be neither one of those teams has dropped a match yet.
Michigan looks tough.
Michigan, your Big Ten champions.
Yeah,
those guys are ready to rock. You just coming in with a bunch of momentum
over Wisconsin in the final, and I've watched Texas and Florida. Texas looks really good. I know that they're not seeded.
They're healthy finally, and they're starting to pick up momentum late. They came in at just 16-10, but they had battled injuries this year, and now they're healthy and they're playing their best ball. So they're going to give Michigan all they can handle. I think. Are you still riding with your Wolverines?
I wouldn't call them mine. I mean, but like I definitely I would think that of the of
big
the two,
Buckeye over there, guys.
Yeah. Of the two, I just watching Michigan play. They're solid the whole way down. I've only watched them play. I've watched Florida, but I've watched Texas. Like you said, they're injured.
Yep.
They look stacked the whole way down too. So
yep.
I don't know.
And so you got to take.
I'm excited to watch.
I'm saying.
I have to pick.
I'll go. Michigan.
I'll go Texas over Michigan.
Oh, I like it. And then the bottom we got USC, Southern California versus Ohio State.
Yeah,
that should be another fun one. I mean,
I'm gonna go with the Buckeyes. I like the Buckeyes.
Now you're riding your Buckeyes,
right?
The Ohio State University.
Right. I'll go with the Buckeyes there.
I like it. Go to the top right a little bit. Check out the action over there. So your Elite Eight out of the left. We got TCU. I have give me Wake over Kentucky.
Are you doing that? Okay.
Give me Wake over Kentucky.
And then
you took Texas. I got Michigan.
Yep.
And we both got the Buckeyes.
Okay. Cool.
Out of the top, Stanford with maybe the win of the first weekend, taking out Harvard 4-3. I guess you could call it an upset, but that match was just, back and forth. You had the doubles point went to Stanford, and then Harvard took courts 1 and 2. Just incredible. You had at number 1 Henry von der Schomburg from Switzerland, taking out Arthur Fury, who's been just outstanding college
tennis player. And then giving him the dirty business on the after match.
What did I miss?
What did
he do?
Wasn't that the park your car in Harvard Yard?
Park your
we
car.
Parked our car in Harvard Yard.
We parked our car in Harvard Yard.
Rough.
Shout out to the Stanford social media team.
Rough.
That is rough. But huge dub for Stanford there. Harvard was what were they this year? They were 18-4. So that's a big win for Stanford. They play Baylor. That's gonna be a fun one. I got Baylor though. I'm not willing to. Baylor's loaded.
Looks so good. Yeah, I had Texas A&M as an upset, but I feel like I just did that because I was just picking the top seed.
You took the Aggies.
I did.
Just with Baylor.
That was wrong.
Baylor's
clearly.
Hold on, real quick.
What is Baylor?
They got Boyd. So let me see the top one. Hold on. They have Boynton, and then they have Matthias Soto.
Okay.
2 of the top players in the conference. You have Soto's one of the best freshmen in the country, and then Boynton is like a 14.2 UTR or something crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah, he'll make a nice living playing this sport.
Yeah.
And then we got Florida State versus Tennessee. Give me the Volunteers. You got Florida State taking out Georgia. An
I'm
upset.
good Tennessee. Tennessee's solid.
Tennessee's rock solid. I agree. And then if they had Blaze Bicknell, they'd even be more solid. He transferred from Florida after being a national champion last year. He had to sit out a year. Then we got Virginia, South Carolina. Another fun matchup, but the Cavaliers are red hot. These Cavaliers picked up, just like Texas, playing their best tennis heading into May Madness, and just have kept it rolling. They're the ACC champions as well. So them and Duke for the women's side.
How do you that winning your conference though? Does that are you punched out going into a whole nother tournament, or you just feel confident like you're unbeatable?
I feel like it's pretty similar in this aspect to basketball. Like when you win your conference tournament, you just have a level of confidence and a level just that momentum and that camaraderie and your chemistry's rock. Like you know how to compete in that type of environment where you're playing back-to-back days. You have to regroup quickly.
And you hit those big mean matches, and then you're not going to quit because no one's beat you yet. Someone's good. Like I agree, tennis is one of those.
And that's why depth, and especially in tennis. Last real quick, North Carolina versus Florida. I got Florida winning the whole thing. So I got Florida taking down the Tar Heels. Maybe it's 4-2. maybe 4-2. I mean, I think it could be a 4-0 sweep.
I think I had mine bracket going with a Florida-Texas rematch. Just
in the final?
Yeah.
I like that.
Which would be great for my bracket.
That.
I'm definitely rooting for Ohio State.
Give me Florida versus I just like TCU. They're battle tested. They had one of the toughest schedules in the country. They did it on the end. It's hard for me not to pick TCU.
Cam Norrie.
Boring pick. Cam Norrie. Actually, if I don't want to be boring, give me Florida over Michigan. I think
they're good.
Shout out to Gruskin. This is Michigan's year. I don't want to bet against what the team has been able to do this year, and maybe their best team in the last 15, 20 years. I just feel like they have not been able to take down the Buckeyes, especially they did 3 times this year, I think, or at least twice. But back to what we were saying real quick. College tennis, it's so important for these top teams to have some depth because you're going in and you're playing like back-to-back days. These long, grueling matches. You have doubles, you have singles, and then you have to bounce back the next day. And then you have individuals coming up right after these team events, the team NCAAs. You have the individual NCAAs. So if your team makes a run, I mean, it's tough for these athletes. Let's go over to the women's side real quick. Did you have any other final thoughts on the men?
No, that's good. Let's do it.
Who are your? Well, let's go quicker on the women's side. I want to get to the ATP and the WTA stuff. On the women's side, we have North Carolina versus Florida, Miami versus Pepperdine. So a lot of the familiar foes out of the top left. You have Virginia versus Oklahoma State, Auburn versus Texas, Duke, Georgia, California versus
Vandy, A&M,
State,
Cal,
Stanford.
NC State.
Give me out of the left side. I think Pepperdine and North Carolina. I've seen both of them play this year.
I'm going Pepperdine.
They were the runner-up last year. They played Texas in a great match last year. I think Texas right now, they started off a little sluggish, but they are. I watched them compete in the Big 12. They looked. I mean, Peyton Stearns dominated Oklahoma 0-0. She dropped like one game in the last 2 matches in Big 12 play. I think her as their leader. They have Champion, I believe is her last name. They're just rock solid across the board. I know I talked to Stearns at the beginning of the season, and she was worried. They were younger. They had some new faces in the mix, but they've really kind of hit that chemistry and taken some doubles points early. That just gets your momentum rolling for singles. And I think Texas is going to be dangerous. So I'll take the Longhorns, led by your Cincinnati and Peyton Stearns. I know we're a little biased over here.
Little homers.
Got to ride.
Yeah. So who you want on the other side?
On the other side, give me the A&M Aggies.
Nice.
I think Texas A&M is the real deal.
Good. I was going to go Texas just because
Texas on the right side. Who you got?
Defending champs, and then
Texas to win it.
Yeah, I was going to put Texas against Oklahoma because I thought, but I don't think they're
rematch of the
still
Big
in
12
it.
final.
Are they still in
Oklahoma is still in it.
Okay.
Bottom right.
Oh yeah, they're there. Yeah,
Yep.
So I would have Texas, Oklahoma.
I like it. Any other college takes? I know we're looking forward to the action resumes on May 9th. I believe. Oh wait, no, May 14th. May 14th. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great because it's Ohio State, USC. I'm gonna watch that on the men's side. But it's just there's lots of big marquee matchups that everybody should.
Guys, tune in if you can't.
Tennis One.
Check out Tennis One, and they're streaming all the best matches, and they will keep you guys in the loop. They're doing great interviews as well. Shout out to Tennis One, and I know that's a partnership that we've enjoyed a lot, just with their coverage of the tour and of college tennis. We got to give these athletes the promotion that they deserve. All right, let's jump into the action. We need to recap what we just saw in Madrid.
Oh, God. That's by far the best tournament. I say it every single week.
You say this every week,
but this one was like marquee match. Like if you had all of your favorite heavyweights and you wanted to line them all up, even from the early rounds, and just put them in marquee matches, I kept sending you texts like just everybody in this match, and even the ones that you had like the villain going in there, like the villain played really well, and like Gofan taking Rafa and Nadal to 3 sets, like having the whole crowd have 4 match points just to get into the match with. I mean, that match was insane.
It was, and I think Gofan is one of the stories of the tournament. I mean,
absolutely,
he hadn't been in form in a long time. And to watch him kind of get his confidence back on the clay courts, it's carried over. Today he just takes down Hubie Hurkacz in Italy or in Rome.
Which he's not a villain, but I mean anybody that's playing against Nadal in Madrid is the villain. So sorry, Gofan. I don't mean to call you. Nate. Nate might think that. So
I'm not the big. No, Gofan seems like a great guy.
yeah.
I had to watch him play in the 2019 finals in Cincinnati and against Medvedev, and I was just like, looked at the crowd, and I'm like, half this crowd doesn't even know who they're watching right now. But no, that's for another day. But the quarterfinals, like you said, this is about as loaded as you'll come.
So loaded.
For the final 8, you have Novak versus Hurkacz, 1 versus 12. You have Rafa versus Carlos, 3 and 7. 2 of the top 3 players in the world right now.
Right.
You have Rublev versus Tsitsipas. You got Felix versus Zverev. That right there was just like, I mean, it was stars across the board.
Yeah.
And it did not disappoint. You had Zverev taking out Felix. I guess that one wasn't the 3-setter that we kind of hoped for, but 3 and 5, great match. You had just first off, I didn't think Zverev was going to be able to find that form after what we had seen. He lost to Holger early in Barcelona.
Yep.
Thought his confidence would be a little down, but for him to get back to a final, huge for his confidence as he gets ready for Roland Garros and obviously Rome before. But Felix had a good result. That's just for him to continue to kind of build up his momentum as he heads and tries to get his footing at the French. We had Carlos versus Rafa.
Oh yeah, I mean you're right. Like the top of the draw was where all the money. I mean,
Carlos versus Rafa was
that was amazing. But like just to go back, like Andy Murray against Djokovic. Like
yep.
you had that little thrower.
Wait,
I think he walked off.
No, Murray didn't even play.
I know, but like the night before, he was like they were talking. He's like, I still have a chance. Like I can play. I'm going to play him. He's number one.
We
in
were
the world.
supposed to get that was supposed to be like an epic showdown.
Yeah,
it was gonna. Yeah. I mean, Novak was gonna win that. I have to say, like I don't think Murray was gonna win, but we needed to see that rivalry kind of reinvent itself.
Totally.
I was bummed we didn't get that.
I was bummed too, but then like you said, like Alcaraz having to go through Cam, Norrie, then Nadal, then Djokovic. Like it was just
that run was insane. So Basilashvili is no walkover. I mean, that guy's gonna hit the crap out of the ball on both at wings, and he takes him out, takes out Cam, takes out Rafa, takes out Novak, takes out Sasha. It was a movie.
And every single one of them after the match too is like you're like you're the best player in the world right now. You know, like they're just so. You can tell who the big dog is now.
So is it safe to say that like after this run, is he the face of? Is he one of the faces of tennis right now? I
mean,
is he the face?
You said that
he's the only one.
You said he'd win 3 tournaments this year and a slam. Well, he's got his 3 tournaments.
I said he would win 3 tournaments and a slam.
I don't think
he's got 4 tournaments now. That's his 4th win.
He's got Mexico. Oh, that's right.
He's got Rio.
Yeah.
He's got Miami, Barcelona, Madrid. 2 Masters 1000s. Are you kidding me?
That's mind blowing.
And at the beginning I was like, 1 slam's a lot, but like he could get 2. Like it's not crazy to think that this guy could get 2 slams.
But my dad, I was talking to like.
He's world number 6 now.
That's amazing.
He's world number 6. He was 125 a year ago.
Yeah. When he walked through Nadal and then Djokovic back-to-back matches to play and to go into the final, where he then essentially just put Zverev in a sleeper hole and just drop shotted him into a coffin. Like I thought Zverev. I was reading some article like someone's like, oh, it's just it's a technicality after you've gone through Nadal and Djokovic. Like not really, because those guys are a little older, and you get into the final. You're not going to get someone quitting on you in the final, but to put Zverev in a place where he really had no answer for the drop shot, I think it just says a lot more that like Alcaraz playing at a level right now where he doesn't have to change his strategy depending on who he's playing. He's doing the same thing. He's beating him up deep and then dropping him into the corner. They try to run up and put it through him and he slams it right. I mean, it's every single point.
Have you noticed that like these 2 teenagers, when I think of, I don't know, I mean, I know Carlos is where he's on his own playing field, but him and Holger Rune, the 2 teenagers that you and I have been following the closest, these guys have both added a drop shot as a main weapon in their arsenal.
It is.
And it's crushing these guys.
Yeah.
It's taking these guys out because a lot of these guys, they both know it. They don't want to be at the net. They're not comfortable. And even if they get to the drop shot, which I think I saw that Carlos had hit 44% of his drop shots for winners. That's outrageous.
That's insane.
But the ones, so say the other 56%, Carlos's court coverage is insane. So whether you re-drop him or you try to,
they all try to,
or you try to angle the drop shot, or you try to push it back to the baseline, his coverage on that next shot is unbelievable.
Yes, it is,
and it doesn't make sense. And it's like that. So it's like you have to come up with a ridiculous shot, and if you don't, you have to volley off one of his ground strokes. That's no fun. And most of these guys don't want to do that.
It feels like it used to be with Nadal or Djokovic. Even it's like if they're having their day, you have nothing. There's nothing you can do. Like what are you going to do? There's not a strategy.
The other shot that I love that Carlos has is the defensive moon ball, the forehand moon ball, where he just puts it up with topspin and hits it like
it's still got tons of topspin,
like 40 feet high. Hits it like 40 feet high. It's only other guy that I see do it is Diego Schwartzman. We saw him do it today against Kecmanovic in their epic battle.
That's awesome.
In Rome. It's like I don't see anybody else do it. He just throws it up there, and Novak didn't know what to do with that shot.
Zverev didn't either. He couldn't mess with it either.
No one knows what you don't see this shot on the tour. So it's like
when then he comes right back on a big bone slamming forehand,
or
and then
his back hit. He lays absolute shoulders and weight on that backhand too. He's got the short angle cross court. He got the big the down line backhand. He mixes in the drop shot so well off both sides.
Yeah,
he disguises it better than anybody else on the tour, maybe.
What I was going to ask you too. This is off topic, but since we're talking about Alcaraz, is that nickname that they're calling him, is that real or is it just some idiot?
The Bone Crusher?
Is that real? Are people calling him the Bone Crusher?
Jason Goodall from Tennis Channel came up with that, I believe.
Because I've heard it twice now. And
I don't know.
Bone Crusher.
I guess we're gonna. Hey, let's.
Is that his nickname?
Do we escape from Alcaraz?
Oh, that's kind of good.
Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher.
We got to come up with a nickname for this guy. I don't know if the Pure Tennis Podcast is gonna hop on the Bone Crusher wagon. I'm not big on it. I think we can do better.
I think we can do better.
The Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher.
It sounds cool if you have an accent, but we don't have cool accents to say Bone Crusher.
No.
And it's like it doesn't. No, I don't think you're going to see Carlos Alcaraz brand any merch.
He's not going to own that.
He's not going to brand any merch with Bone Crusher on it. Anyway, shout out to Alcaraz.
Yeah.
Last year, he had like 50,000 followers, I believe, at this time. The guy's up to 1.2 million. Him and Emma Raducanu, with how quickly they've risen to fame, just been fun to watch. I know Raducanu hasn't quite backed it up on the court as we kind of hope, but just to have new faces, new stars in the game. Love to watch those stories unfold, and especially with these young teenagers, how well they handle themselves.
You say Raducanu doesn't have it backed it up, but she's got a slam. Like
Alcaraz
doesn't have a slam.
Since Emma Raducanu has done more in her tennis career than most women like on the tour. 95% of them will do in the rest of their career. You mean like
this year? Oh, I totally agree. Totally agree.
This year, yeah. After coming off the U.S. Open,
absolutely. Yeah.
I thought she was gonna kind of solidify herself as like a consistent threat. Just she looked to be so composed, and the way she just was moving, her movement and her ball striking and her mentality on the court. I thought she was just going to be a quarterfinalist at most events. Put it that way.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Give me any other thoughts from Madrid though. I thought for Novak's camp, great to see him kind of finally get his legs back underneath him after being off the tour for a minute there.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Novak.
Welcome back, Novak.
Welcome back. So Novak is back,
and he's back in he went finals, semis. So he's legit back.
Yeah, he is, and I think that matchup against Carlos kind of showed him something, and I think it's going to motivate him to get back on the courts here and kind of he's gonna have to tinker with some stuff. What he did.
He just schooled Karatsev pretty hard today.
Is that over already?
It was. It went quick too.
Yeah,
it's
3-2.
Yep.
So what Novak is putting together in a short amount of time is very impressive, and that's a guy that you're going to see as one of the top 3 favorites at Roland Garros. So good for Novak to see him healthy again. Great for tennis. You had Rafa regain his footing, got back on tour after a broken ribs in Indian Wells. So they hadn't seen him since April.
That's right.
So he's back on court. Looked really strong. He had a tough match against Goffin, which was good to see him kind of get physically tested in those longer rally exchanges. And then obviously Alcaraz matchup was kind of a weird match. It was kind of lopsided. Each set was not particularly close. I think the closest set was 6-3 in that one. But no, he just was able to find that level again that we're accustomed to him seeing. I don't think he had the depth that he quite had kind of wished for, especially on return to serve. And I think the backhand was coming up short a bit, which allowed Carlos to dictate a lot. But Rafa, he's gonna keep finding his way into form, and he's gonna be maybe. Would you take him as the favorite right now at Roland Garros after what you've seen, or are we?
I'm still gonna roll Djokovic because Alcaraz got him in 3 straight tiebreakers, right? So I would say that it's just like, okay, you put him in 5-set scenario and see, okay, you beat him. You have to do it for me, like you got to do it in the Grand Slam before I'm still going with Djokovic.
I like it.
I just think that I think that you go Nadal won because he's the king of clay. Although Alcaraz hasn't lost on clay yet this year, so like who's the real king of clay? I'll put Nadal as the king of clay, so I'd still put him as your one. I put Djokovic as the returning French Open champion as my two, and I put Alcaraz as my three, with all of the momentum. So, because he just Djokovic in with the 20-point rallies, I still think he's built to go 5 sets. Alcaraz, other than Djokovic, would be my other guy that's built to go 5 sets on clay. Nadal with the broken ribs and just kind of getting up there in age, like even struggling with Goffin, like just gave me that shaky feeling that I just don't. I'm gonna root for him, but I just don't see it this year.
Fair enough. No, awesome stuff. Madrid was amazing. I think that was
amazing
in my top 2 events of the year.
Yeah,
is that your favorite one?
That's my number one. I think.
I mean, just to watch history, like with what Alcaraz is doing, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
So on the women's side, guys, I would say my main takeaways would be, first off, shout out to Simona Halep and Patrick Mouratoglou. They've got that is a now that relationship looks like it's off to a strong start. Simona Halep reaching the semifinals before falling to Ons Jabeur, who would eventually be the champion. So a great result for them in their first. I believe that was their first, maybe their second tournament. Maybe they played one before. But no, it's just cool to see Simona regain her form. She's just so fun to watch and just so easy to root for. I just think she's just great face of tennis and great personality to have on the tour, doing great things. She took out Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff made the quarters, or round of 16 actually. Great result for the youngster. She's ranked 15. She's starting to find her footing on clay. I think her movement and athleticism stood out. She had a big win against Kerber yesterday. So good to see Coco Gauff. I would love to see her be I want to see her get a quarterfinal of Roland Garros, or get to a semifinal. And I think she's got the firepower and the weapons to do it. If she can, that forehand can just be a little more solid. It's just a little bit. People seem to be attacking that forehand wing a little bit. She tends to spray and it can break down. But Coco Gauff, great talent. I think she's just steadily improving. So I think we had these high, crazy expectations when she first came onto the scene, like we're seeing with Alcaraz, like these. And not everybody can get to that. Like, you can't hit so early. I mean, she's younger than Alcaraz, actually. What is she now? Coco Gauff she's 17. So it's like she's 2 years younger than Alcaraz. So she's going to continue to keep improving. I think her best tennis is obviously well ahead of her. The next story I thought was Anisimova took out Sabalenka, a rivalry that she's dominated. I don't know if we can call it a rivalry. I think she is 3-0 against her now. She is 3-0 against her. So hasn't lost to Sabalenka yet. That is kind of I guess wild, because I think they're both pretty similar. They're both big ball strikers. They both want to take that first ball and push it somewhere to a corner early. She also took out Azarenka, another huge win. Anisimova, another American, playing high-level ball. Love to see it. I thought Ons Jabeur, I can watch Ons Jabeur any day. Like, she beats players in so many different ways. You just don't know what she has. So many different shots in the bag that she can pull out. So many different weapons. She's got great hands. Her drop shots are exceptional. On the run, she's a sneaky good athlete. She just comes up, her backing down the lines slap shot is just so deadly accurate. Her forehand, she finds the short angles so well, and her movement is just, I mean, it's pretty flawless. I mean, you would, looking at her, I don't think it doesn't scream to me, like a superb athlete, but when you put her on the clay, she slides so well. I think she's one of the best sliders, movers on the clay courts. But yeah, awesome event for the women's side as well. Jill Teichmann had a great tournament. She reached the semifinals, losing to eventual Pegula. I got shout out Jessica Pegula.
Yeah, I was gonna bring her.
Pegula.
That serves cooking.
Another American. So the American women are balling. She reached the final. Pegula was cooking. You got to see some of her. I know you were texting about her. She's just consistent.
That was the one. Like, I was watching the serve, just kind of pushing people around. The women's tennis is so evenly matched, because I feel like they can't have that screamer that kind of puts people at. There's so many breaks. I was talking to a friend that she was talking about all the breaks. She's holding her serve, so like she's just, it's a thick serve.
You're not wrong, because she just won 60 against Teichmann in the semis. She won 63% of her first serve points.
Mind blowing.
She won 70% of her second serve points.
Wow.
70% on your second serve points. You're going to win a lot of matches if you're going 70% on your second. She won 8 out of 10 service games, so holding at an 80% hit rate. That's Pegula balling. She just had a tough match today. I'm sure she's a little bit fatigued from that run, but so no, American tennis is in good hands on the women's side. We have also I expect Madison Keys to kind of find her form here heading into Roland Garros. Any other thoughts from Madrid?
I mean that's like I think that was the best tournament of the year. I think that going into
across
Rome,
the board, both men and the men and women both put on a show, and the crowd, excellent. The energy,
huge. I mean, it helps that to have the Spaniards in there killing it. Yeah,
Madrid they're doing things right over there.
They are,
which was cool to see. I just think watching these, we need to get some of these Americans down, especially on the ATP side, getting in the mix on some of these clay court events because I just think I want that energy.
Yeah.
We need that in the United States. I want to see these events get up and get rowdy.
There's like two.
Shapovalov got he got the whole gist there in Rome yesterday.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely there's different types of people that there's in tennis, and one like the clay people are just kind of like the painful working tennis, and it's just a different type of tennis because it's painful and it's drudgery, and you have to dig it out and fight for every point. And I think that clay it takes a certain type of person. I think the Spaniards definitely have developed that guy, obviously, and they got the new guy that's doing it too. But I think the Americans could have that. They just need some gritty fighter to come up.
And that's you have to be a fighter, and that's why I've talked to coaches recently about this. Like I'm asking them, why do you think that with how big of a country we are, how many resources we have, why are we not finding Americans breaking through as often as we are from these other much smaller countries with, quite frankly, less resources than we have? And I hear the same answer a lot. Our juniors do not grow up training on clay. So if you don't train on clay, what clay does for your game is it allows you to construct points and work patterns, which are two things that we're seeing executed at a high level. That's one of the reasons that I always tell you Diego Schwartzman is, for me, must-watch TV. Like, he does not win free points ever. And he wins these matches. He breaks at like a 34% rate, which I think is like the third highest I saw on tour this year, which is insane. He's 5'5". He's breaking 6'5" guys serve 34% of the time.
That's cool.
I mean, he puts returns in. He plays the point out from the baseline, and he works you off the court with his angles. He finds his depth. He does not. He hits high marginal ball, like just that high margin, high heavy ball that he finds guys back in. And he just doesn't let you. Just continues to chase balls, track balls down, chases down drop shots, and just the backhand. The firepower on the backhand is ridiculous,
especially on the clay. If you can, not just Diego, but I feel like you were even mentioning about world class backhands, and Zverev. He just went to the finals on a clay tournament because his backhand. So you put somebody into a corner where they can't. You take away a weapon, which is usually just bomb somebody's backhand. If you just take that away and then put high percentage balls up in the air over the net, you take away a weapon, just to make yourself fight for 3 sets. I think that kind of guy is going to win in these clay tournaments more than the guy that's kind of hoping to just stick people in the corner and then just bomb them. Mm-hmm. So it's just I love clay circuit. I think it's the best tennis. I think the most shocking result for me from Madrid, real quick, was Grigor ripping Diego 6-3, 6-0. Grigor really enjoying his. That was the most shocking. Just match. Because Diego's so tough. He is tough, and Grigor is at a I know he has the weapons, and obviously you got the one-handed backhand, and he's got the forehand. He just does everything. When he's on fire, he's tough to beat. But it's like Diego, you have to hit him off the court for 2 hours to beat him 3-0 or whatever. And it's just like that. Maybe not the most shocking, but it was like when I thought that was going to be a showdown. I thought that was going to be an epic battle for those two, and to watch Grigor kind of work him over a little bit. That one caught me off guard. Mine Cam Norrie with Alcaraz. That was a grueler because both of them. I mean, it was just grueling back and back and back. I didn't get to watch that one live. I had to watch that one afterwards, so I don't think I got to live in the moment with that one. I think I just caught the last set of that one. Talk about what you saw with that matchup. That was just another. I mean, it was the first part of the run. I'm guessing Cam didn't hit many winners. I mean, Cam had I watched John Isner and Cam Norrie, and it was 3 sets before that match. And then he goes into he doesn't hit many winners. Absolutely, I was my brain caught up to that. He didn't hit many winners. Alcaraz and him just both kind of sitting out and just setting up a point, putting him into a place. I mean, that's where the drop shot really started to take hold. Is because in this tournament it became lethal because he was working it on Cam Norrie, just sticking him.
Cam's a phenomenal mover, one of the most fit athletes on the tour.
I mean, he was getting to it. That was the thing that's neat about Alcaraz's drop shot is that he doesn't care if you get.
Though. He
doesn't care if you get to.
Yeah, he follows it in and he knocks out the
volley. He almost
volley.
wants you to because then he can shove the next ball right down your throat.
His celebrations are starting to get pretty
He
fun.
stares people down.
I love how he gets the. I don't know what it is. He's not like a over emotional, show a bunch of emotion type player. On big points, he will, but his simple reactions seem to get the crowd. The energy just gets to another level. That crowd especially. I mean, obviously he's a Spaniard playing in Madrid. That's a recipe for success right there. Yeah. But I mean, what the energy that he's giving these fans, it's like everybody's standing. It's like I don't see anybody sitting down. Like we need an American to invigorate the fans and kind of give the juice here. Tiafoe can do it at times.
Tiafoe can do it. I mean,
Kyrgios. We've adopted Kyrgios as an American.
Yeah, he's American, clearly.
Like, I don't think we're going to get this from Korda or Taylor Fritz or Opelka.
Definitely not Korda.
Tommy Paul could be that guy. He hasn't quite embraced it.
Brooksby could. I think Brooksby could get a little.
Brooksby could. He's fiery. I like the fire.
The clay doesn't seem to suit his game, but
no, he plays.
He's got that kind of fighter.
He does. Which is gonna attract a lot. No, it's true. Which is gonna attract fans for sure. But Jensen Brooksby doesn't possess the most swagger, if I have to say that.
You're right.
That dude doesn't ooze like that. Dude's super cool, right?
Yeah, let's fight. Let's go fight or across the net. He doesn't do
no
that.
Shots taken at my guy JB. Big fan of Brooksby. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. But I don't he doesn't have the same swagger that you saw like a Kyrgios or Alcaraz or these, even like a Holger Rune. I think Holger Rune has something that kids gravitate towards.
Oh, absolutely. Holger Rune's got a mean streak. I think that's
his
the
backhand is world class.
World class.
It is.
His forehand is hard.
His forehand's solid. It's very good. His forehand is it's come a long way, but his backhand on the run.
He wants world number one.
He does.
We should talk about high school. Because let's just switch over because we could talk about Madrid literally. I could talk about it for another 2 hours, but we should talk about Ohio high school sectionals right now.
Yep. We're gonna be heading up to
tomorrow.
Heading up to the Linder Complex where they host the Western and Southern Open. Just playing there in high school, when you that's a big moment, and it's like you get so juiced up for that. Even though there's weeds growing at the complex everywhere, they haven't kind of manicured the place yet. It's not in. It
hasn't hit their grow lights. Haven't gone on.
It's not in tour form yet.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. You're a high school kid playing where the same courts that you see Rafa, Roger, Novak, all the legends take the court, and you get when you get the center court blessing.
Yeah.
That is a different level. So I can't wait to get up there and watch that action.
Because for tons of those guys, it's the first time they've ever played it on a court where there's not another court attached to it.
Exactly. And it's also the first time many of these players are going to play with a 6-inch baseline.
Ooh.
6-inch big white baseline. I'm telling you, it makes a difference. It takes a second to adjust to.
Yeah, because you can see it really well.
It feels like the spacing on your serve. So everything feels like for me at least. I guess I'll speak for myself. It's like when I'm serving, I feel like I have to reach up a little higher and push out a little more and use my legs a little bit more. And I know it's the dimensions are the same.
Right.
It's mental. Tennis
is
mental.
It's a better paint job.
It's a better paint job.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good to know.
So
who are the big matches tomorrow that you?
I'll have to check the schedule on this. I was.
We're gonna get some interviews.
We're gonna get some interviews though, but
St. X, Mason.
I know, obviously, yeah. You got St. X, you got Springboro, you got Sycamore, you got Mason, you have St. Ed's coming down. I'm sure from Cleveland's gonna have a squad. I mean, there's gonna be talent across the board, but I would say that Vignesh Gaganeni. I'm always butchering his name. I'm sorry, Vignesh. But out of Mason, I think he's going to be the favorite if I had to choose. I know Chad Miller's up there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of names. I got to get a list from
we'll do that
Coach
tomorrow.
Deckis.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Shout to CHCA. Coach Deckis is doing big things with his Cincinnati Tennis Foundation as well. I got to get with him on a schedule to see what matches we got to.
Sorry, I threw that out there. I didn't realize. We'll do much more detail tomorrow.
Guys, the high school players,
check it out.
We are watching. We are paying attention. Shout out to the USTA Midwest. Shout out to USTA South. Shout out to USTA East. Marissa Kovac down in Tennessee doing her thing with the USTA. Always tune in, guys. Send your clips to us on Instagram. Tag us at Pure Tennis Podcast, at tennis_point_USA. We're on TikTok. We're trying to post as much of this video as we can to promote what you guys are doing, and hopefully help you guys get a college scholarship or NIL deal, something, whatever it may be.
State championship,
whatever.
Go get it.
Anyway, we guys, we love doing this. If you guys would be so kind to subscribe, send to a friend, send in any questions, please. We would love to get you guys questions. I'm going to put up a link on our podcast channel on Instagram, and you guys can drop any questions you guys have, whether it's year related, core related.
We'll bring them up.
We'll bring them up. We'll give you guys a tag when we talk about it. And a lot of fun doing this, and